How are you doing, Ira?
It's yeah. How am I doing? I think what's funny. Driving home last night, I really think I was shell shocked. I really wasn't upset. But
Yeah.
when I woke up this morning, reality set in, and what a disgrace yesterday was.
So you
Just
you actually went to the New England game then?
yeah. I was
Yeah,
up there. Yeah.
man.
I'll tell you, man. It was. I mean, it's been a while since I sat in a real cold weather game. This was it was the wind was biting yesterday. It was really it's a funny thing. It seemed either I got used to it or it seemed to have calmed down in the fourth quarter.
hmm
But the first half, oh my God, the wind was awful. It was awful.
But the real biting was the offense of the Jets just not putting up anything. I mean, what was it? 77 yards of total offense from Zach Wilson yesterday. Was that what the
Yeah.
statistic was? Unbelievable. I mean,
Well, I think it's 100 yards as a team,
yeah,
77 passing, two total yards in the second half. And, I'm going to have to admit, I was wrong about Zach Wilson.
yeah. So was I.
He's not, he's not the answer. He's not
No.
the answer.
And what's even more scary when you look at it is that we've won so much this season. We're far away from getting Bryce Young or any of these top quarterbacks now.
Oh, yeah. I told you this, I think, either last show or two shows ago or whatever. I said, there's no way they're drafting another quarterback.
No.
Woody Johnson will go out and get a veteran, whoever that might be. And because this team is ready to win now.
Yeah, they are. With the defense, they have a championship caliber defense. They have Brees Hall coming
Yeah.
back next year. They have Michael Carter. They have a good offensive line. It's time now. We have to move on because this
Yeah.
is the same. This is the same thing basically with Darnold. And I don't even know. I think this is worse than Darnold.
It's worse than I just had a conversation with my father. Excuse me. And the point I was making, as much as when Donald was finishing up his career with the Jets, I figured he's just never going to be any good. I think they ruined him because I remember watching him his first two summers, and even with Adam Gase, his first year, which was Donald's second year, um, he did have that stretch where they won about six of their last seven or five of their last six, whatever it might be. I don't have the schedule in front of me. And he played some very, very good games, like the Dallas game, the Giant game. Um, he beat Buffalo. He beat, oh no, that was with Bulls. But I know he strung together about five, six straight wins, and he played very, very well. And that second year, even though we had question marks about him, he's a light years ahead in his second year with the Jets than Wilson is right now in his second year.
Yeah, I agree. He's regressed. And when you look at games, because I always go back to that Tampa Bay game last year, because that was the game that I believe that Zach Wilson took the leap, and that was what we saw, how we saw him play in college. And then we look at the games now. Joe Flacco is throwing more touchdown passes than Wilson has. And what if Flacco only played 3 games?
That's right. You could really make the argument that except for the fourth quarter against the Steelers when he actually had a nice comeback,
hmm
um, he hasn't done anything, and pretty much the defense and the running game, he's just along for the ride.
Exactly. It's unfortunate. When you look at the quarterbacks that could possibly end up on the Jets next year, who's someone in mind that you think would be the perfect fit for them? Because what we're
Well,
probably not going to
it's
draft.
the most obvious: Garoppolo, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Those are two names that right off the top of my head would stick out to me because they both know LaFleur's system. Um, Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. I'm sure. You put Rodgers on the Jets next year, and they're going to be contenders for the division title
Yeah,
with that defense and Aaron Rodgers. As much as I don't like Aaron Rodgers personally,
yeah.
who cares? The guy can still play. But but
Exactly.
the thing that really, for me, that put the nail in the coffin with Zach Wilson is on the field. That was very alarming yesterday.
But off the
But
field, when
he,
he didn't take any
oh my
accountability.
God, that was the worst thing. Pretty much he just threw the team under the bus, and he's not a leader. And you know what? You can't take that back. You can't say, "Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I made a mistake." That's not going to work.
No. And I heard that some of the defensive players in the locker room, that when you read tweets online, that they weren't happy about the comments, and apparently Sauce Gardner even liked the tweet going against Zach Wilson, but he came out and said he did it by mistake. But I wouldn't be
I don't
surprised if
believe
it
that.
was intentionally. But I can't blame them. You can't blame, because the defense are playing their asses off,
Yep.
and
Well, what
and the
about
offense isn't doing, and Zach Wilson isn't doing anything.
no? And what about Garrett Wilson? He flew off the handle. Denzel Mims, a lot. And you know what? I think all this time with the Elijah Moore, because that's an unsolved mystery with
Yeah,
Elijah Moore. I think, quite frankly, I think him and Wilson don't get along,
no,
and I think that's why they didn't trade him. They know he has talent, and because in the end, I'm sure you know that Saleh didn't commit to him, and I'd be shocked if they don't name White the starter on Wednesday, which
yeah,
they should, and strictly because of his mobility. Flacco just can't,
no.
he can't move. So I go with White, and before I go spend money on a free agent next year, maybe you get. I don't think. I think White could just manage the games. Could probably be more efficient than Zach Wilson right now. But I don't think he's a long term answer either. But you got to make sure that before you spend big money, so you might as well stick them out there. And if they happen to win a couple of games, you never know. You make this could be like 1999 when Parcells put in Ray Lucas, and they went on a run.
Hmm.
Maybe Mike White does the same thing. I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. I think White starts on Sunday. I think they blow the Bears out.
Hey, I think you're right, especially reading the Justin Fields news. Apparently, he had a dislocated shoulder, so there's questions if he's going to
Oh,
even play.
he's not playing.
Yeah,
Nah, he's
no,
not playing. Nah, he's not
no,
playing. No,
no. I
no.
I hope that they start Mike White. They need to get something going here, and Zach Wilson isn't the answer. Another
No.
quarterback, just another name on that long list of what could have been franchise
It,
quarterbacks for the Jets.
and as much as Joe Douglas has done a phenomenal job building a roster, right?
Yeah,
The thing that what's really sticks out as like a sore thumb is that his first two picks, in back-to-back years, he blew the Becton pick, and now he blew the Zach Wilson
yeah.
pick.
So
Now,
he's
once
he's
again,
better
will that?
picking off in the later rounds.
Yeah. You know what? Just get me bottom of the first round picks. Much better off with that.
Oh, I agree. Look at
Uh,
Brees Hall. He was a second round pick, and he was our
I know,
best
I
player.
know. But
Unbelievable.
like I was just telling my wife, the turn of events. I was so psyched leading up and couldn't wait to get up to Foxborough for this game because what was at stake, and I felt the Jets were going to finally do it and beat them, right?
Yeah.
And the game played out the way it's playing out. But even with that said, when they got the ball with about a minute, whatever was left, and then they got the penalty on the pass and they got the automatic first down,
Hmm.
I said, you know what? Wilson's going to hit just one play and they'll get themselves into field goal range and they'll win it. And, it just didn't pan out. And then the funny part was, not that it was funny, but I, when they were getting ready to punt, of course, everybody thought it's going overtime, right?
Hmm.
I started to walk down, sitting in the 14th row upstairs. I started walking down the stairs after he kicked. I wanted to grab a hot chocolate for the overtime.
Hmm.
And as I'm walking down the stairs, he catches the ball and he starts running. And I said, "Oh, wait a second!" And then boom, boom, and I said, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And it's just that. Let me say it. That image of him running that, returning that thing, that'll be engraved in my mind along with the spike game. Because I compared yesterday to the spike game. Okay,
Mm.
so it goes along with Dan Marino's spike game. It goes with Chris McAllister in 2000, returning right before halftime, that 98-yard interception thing against Vinny.
Victor
That goes
Cruz.
way before you were born. Bill Simpson, an interception in a playoff in the end zone against Richard Todd and with Gastineau. And, it just, it was a McKelvin intercepting Fitzpatrick in
Oh
Buffalo
yeah,
on
that's
15.
another one.
Every time I walk into that stadium and I look in that end zone, I see that play. And every time, God willing, I'm going to continue to go up to Foxborough. Every time I see the corner where he caught that punt, I'll always remember watching him run that thing back to me. It's unbelievable.
It is, and of course it ended in Jet fashion. I mean, and when you lose like the Jets, it's just there's no other team like it that loses in that, and that's the only way they could lose.
I know,
unbelievable.
I know. And you know what? If that game had gone overtime, I think it would be pretty safe to say it's a good chance that game might have ended in tie.
Yeah, because there was, as bad as the Jets are right now with yesterday as far as the quarterback play goes, the Patriots didn't show any signs of life either. Mac Jones isn't this all-star quarterback either.
Well, he did complete 23 to 27 passes.
Yeah, he did. He did more than Wilson, but he's still not one of the top, as people were touting him to be. He's not one of the top QBs. People were like, oh, he's the next Brady.
No, and let's not give LaFleur a pass on yesterday.
No. I think the issue is, I think if I were to make a move, I think you need to make a change at offensive coordinator and quarterback for next year. That's just my opinion. But I don't know, because Saleh has this whole system.
Well, I'm with you on that. I don't think there will, strictly cause a solid relationship with LaFleur.
Yeah.
But with that said, I mean, let's hope we, somehow White gets us into the playoffs. And I'm good. I mean, I don't really need to see Wilson play anymore this year.
No.
If Mike White could go out there and win some games and play efficient football, I'm good to ride that out. Of course, I don't think Wilson's really part of this team going forward.
No, I just and Joe Douglas, he's gonna have to cut his losses early here, because when you look at it, that was his quarterback. That's who he picked, so he has to move on from him right away. Because if he sticks with him in his third year and he plays like this, oh yeah, he's done. So he's got to make a change as soon as possible.
Right. I mean, you got Garoppolo, you got Rodgers. I mean, is there anybody that you know of, any upcoming trades or contracts? I mean, is Kirk Cousins? I mean, I don't know who else really would really hit the market or want to hit the market next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on Kirk Cousins, because if you really look at it, this is his first year that he's actually played decent out of this huge contract that he got. I remember the Jets, when you heard about Mike McCagnon, they wanted to give him a $100 million deal.
Oh, I was all in on Kirk Cousins.
Really? Well.
Oh, I wanted him in the worst way.
Yeah, well, he would have offered that veteran leadership, but then you look at the Vikings, and they have a lot of talent over there, and just things didn't pan out. And then Darnold happened, then we got Wilson, but I think you're going to have to go between Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers. And
yeah, I think if they go that route, I think it would be one or two, I would think.
Yeah, because Rodgers, it's like Favre coming here.
It would be the same thing, right? Yeah. You got to, I don't know, I forget how old Favre was when he came here, but Rodgers got to be about 35-ish.
Yeah.
He's probably got about 3 to 4 more good years. And you know what? Like I said, as much as he's a jerk, I couldn't care less. You put him on this team, and we're competing with the Bills for the division title.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers fan personally, especially just everything on the field, off the field, the antics. I can't deal with it, but I'll take him if we win games. That's all that counts.
And how ironic would that be if we get 2 ex-tackle quarterbacks to come over here, try to get us out of these doldrums that we year after year after year. And I'll tell you the truth, I think, a week ago we were sitting pretty, thinking about playoff scenarios. Now, I think you could kiss that goodbye, I think.
Yeah, no, you can. It's unfortunate again, and I really, because then we're going to fall into another line here where is this another Mark Sanchez situation coming up? Because once they get this veteran quarterback that they're going to be looking for a rookie down the road, whether it's not this year or next year. But the main factor is, can they finally get it right?
Don't know. I can't answer that.
Yeah.
Really, I really can't answer that. But I just know that this is a really good football team with no quarterback.
Yeah. Horrible. It's just like when you look at it, Mayfield with the Browns.
Yep, same thing. Yeah, that's very good. That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, good running game, really good defense, no quarterback.
Nope. Unbelievable.
That's a really good comparison. So
it aggravates me because you think about it, should they have drafted Lamar Jackson? When you really look at it, it's just what could have been. And
I know.
Unbelievable. I would take Justin Fields at this point. I mean,
Well, originally that's the guy I originally wanted, and then I changed gears and I got into the Wilson camp. And I was convinced that he was the guy I really thought
yeah, I was
was
too,
it.
especially when you watch all the expert videos, you watch the college breakdown and all the film, and they were like, "Oh, he's a natural super freak talent." And then now when we've seen him play for now we're going on 2 years here, that's not there. So
No,
I don't
I
think
mean I was.
you never know. We could have like a Geno Smith situation where years down the road he may be a better quarterback, but right now it's not panning out.
No, it's not panning out. It's definitely not panning out. But otherwise, besides that, some really good young developing talent that you know you got to be proud of.
Yeah. Sauce Gardner. I mean, DJ Reed. I think they're the best corner duo in the NFL.
I agree.
Yeah, unbelievable. The Quinnen Williams too. How about a year he's having? He's going to get a nice contract.
Yeah, he'll get his money. Garrett Wilson seems to be the real deal. The tight ends are still a mystery to me.
Yeah, I don't
You know,
understand why they're not using I mean, Conklin. I mean, the Jeremy Ruckert. They haven't even played.
it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it makes no sense. It was interesting to me yesterday, right before the half, on that third down play when he sailed the ball. I think it was over Huzama over the middle.
Oh yeah,
The one that McCourty should have picked.
that's right. Was that Uzama or Conklin? I feel like it was Conklin.
Oh, it was Conklin.
It was
You're right, it
Conklin.
was
Then he had
Conklin.
a throw too. I don't know if you saw the one to Braxton Berrios. It went right over
Yeah,
his
that was
head.
horrible.
Ugh.
Well, the reason I bring up the Conklin one is there was about 45 seconds left before the half, and if he catches, if he makes it, because he was wide open, if he actually completes the pass,
Hmm.
not only is it a first down, but there was yards in front of him to get. He probably get into a red zone and they either go up 16 or 10 for a halftime, and that might have been enough.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It really is.
The game really was on Zach. Well, as much as people are trying to say, "Oh, the special teams didn't tackle him," I mean, the whole game it was on Wilson. You can't. It wasn't even professional level football the way he was playing. I
No.
mean, 77 passes. It's just unbelievable. And the throws that he was missing yesterday. And then how about the one with Michael Carter was standing there for like 4 seconds, and he got the ball off to him late.
Oh, that was unbelievable. You mean the third down play?
Yeah,
Yeah, and once again, that was something I'm telling myself, what in the world? It's third and one. You just ran the ball for 9 yards. Just get the first down and keep it going. But it just, like I said, it was another. I've made way too many trips, long trips in the dark from Foxborough driving back home and feeling miserable because I lost to the Pats again.
yeah. They're definitely my most hated team. I want to beat them, and I don't know. We got to wait till next year if we can end this streak. I really hope so
Yeah.
that we get this quarterback situation squared out because Wilson isn't the answer. It's just
No, he's not.
no.
He's not the answer. It's very unfortunate. I admitted I was wrong, and hopefully they could. Who knows? Maybe Mike White could finish out the. We'll probably see Wilson again because I don't think Mike White's the answer.
No, I know
But
Salah just
maybe
said today that he's not committing that everything's on the
well,
table, but I feel as though Wilson's going to be starting this game. But I'll tell you if they
oh,
don't
I don't
pull if
think
they don't
so.
pull Mike White, if they don't pull him for Mike White in this game, if he's performing poorly, I don't know. There's going to be an uprising by the fan base, but I think that there has to be a change here. It's time.
Yep, I think there will be. I feel pretty confident to guess and say that White's going to start on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Why
I'm,
not
I'm
Sunday?
hoping.
I mean.
I'm hoping.
Yep. So, I guess, if they lose to the Bears, we can start looking into the draft.
Yeah, back to the draft charts again.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
what? Oh, I can't believe it.
Well, at least it
But,
lasted. At least it lasted till November. Usually, we're looking in September.
that's right. Well, I tell you one thing. I'm supposed to go up to Buffalo on the 11th. For the game in the 11th.
Hmm.
If they lose to the Bears and the Vikings, I'll scratch it.
Yeah.
There's no point. It would make no sense. But to sit amongst those things up there to watch them play,
No.
I'm gonna have to rethink that. Hopefully I do believe White will beat the Bears. The Viking game, who knows? But just if they split it, what would they be 7-5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that Bill game is an important game.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Mike White could beat him up there. Who knows? You never know.
You never know. It's week by week, and they have a better chance with Mike White than Wilson. I'll say that.
For sure. For sure. Okay, you have a great Thanksgiving.
You too, Ira. Have a great
And
Thanksgiving.
maybe another couple of weeks we'll still have some playoff hopes still alive. Who knows?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping, but until the next time, Ira, we'll be here.
Sounds good. Have a good holiday,
You
man.
too, Ira. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.